This is Josiah Plays Sunless Skies. Alright, we're at New Winchester. We're almost done with everything in the Reach, and it is almost time to go to Albion, but we need to help the researcher out with these anti-Cinders propaganda flyers. Hoping there's some sort of conclusion to this coming up. And it's not just endless flyer deliveries. What's up, Tackety Scouts? The Greensboro. Oh, hold on, there's a fungal rock over here. I'll take the crinoline to give to the researcher. Why not? Free money, as they say. Down in Fungal Rock. Down in Fungal Rock. Man, Fraggle Rock was the shit back in the day. A fruitless attempt to deter marauders. They'd be trying to maraud. Oops. Sorry, Alethea. I'm an idiot. What up, unknown rat? Rat strats. Hopefully Tim can play again soon. Indeed, that is my hope. Wait, what can we get from this homestead? Sky Story for supplies sounds good. Oh yeah, we's about to mess up a... what do you call him? A dreadnought. The Greenwood. Oh yeah. Dreadnought the Dreadnought. That shit does have bullets for days. Space bullets. Alright, let's raid the hold. Unusual cargo. A sheaf of papers, crisp as freshly ironed shirts. More permits. The pages are stiff as a new clerk's collar, and thin as a spurned lover's parting smile. Man, that's good writing. That's, The ink is rich and jade. The permissions are varied and wide-ranging. The signatory is surprising. Pew pew pewter bullets? Indeed. Choo 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 your crew. 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 You're on a choo choo and you've got crew to chew, so just choo 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 your crew. Choo 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 your crew. Choo 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 your crew. You're on a choo choo and you've got crew to chew, so just choo 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 your crew. I like it. I like it. Alright, we made it to here. I don't need that bronze wood. Anything special I want to do while I'm here? Why am I at Port Prosper? This isn't even the right place. I came to the wrong place, Nox! I'm supposed to go to the nature reserve. Lay sigh. Dreadnought hunting. Well, I mean, I already would have been there if I would have gone straight there. This is not really on the way. Just wasn't thinking. Just was not thinking. Choo 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 your crew. 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 You're on a choo choo and you've got crew to chew, so just choo 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 your crew. Choo 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 your crew. Choo 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 your crew. A choo 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 your crew. Choo 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 your crew. You're on a choo-choo and you've got crew to chew, so just choo-choo-choo your crew. Crunchy croutons, yes! All of the croutons. You're on a choo-choo and you've got crew to chew, so just choo-choo-choo your crew. Alright. Nature reserve. No bargains. I'm not going to export the cinders. No guides into the reserve. Alright, back to the research. Let's turn some stuff in. Ants from a homestead. Easy 300 sovereigns. Fungal crinoline. Easy 300 sovereigns. Let's acquire into his private project. Distribute the anti-cinder propaganda. Really? Back to New Winchester. I was thinking it was going to be a different place each time. I'm having a feeling that maybe this is just endless. Which is super lame if there was no... Look, I'm gonna go there and deliver this and come back here one more time. One more time. And see if anything changes. And if not, it's Albion time. It's Albion time. It's Albion time. I'll be on my way to Albion. That didn't work out too well. To workshop that a bit. Don't even do it, bees. Leaves fat as giants' tongues. If it's just yeah, I know, right? That's hella lame if it's just... Where am I? I'm going the wrong ass way. The Archipelagia. It becomes an even bigger money farm at that rate. Yeah, and perpetual fetch quest for his research stuffs. He is a perpetual money farm, though. And a good money farm. Collecting some of that stuff for him is pretty easy. And you could be delivering... And you could be double dipping by delivering cinders and also delivering anti-cinder pamphlets at the same time. But honestly, this game has a lot of money farms already. It's surprisingly easy to make money in this compared to Sunless Sea. Deliver pamphlets. Okay, we've read this before. Alright, I'm going back there one more time. Uno. Gambol, too much booty in the hole. Gambol, too much booty in the hole. Gambol, too much booty in the hole. You really had to think out your roots. Yeah, in the very beginning, until you really did some stuff and established some trade routes and everything else, you were really close to being screwed at all times in Sunless Sea in the beginning, because you barely could have enough money to pay for your fuel and supplies. Just checking for some Bizargans, but there were no Bizargans available. I ought to buy a little fuel and supplies right now. But look, what I'm rolling with right now, my fuel efficiency is at 1.93 because I'm barely carrying anything. When I'm closer to full, it goes down to like 1.3 or 1.4. Honestly, I like this way better than Sunless Sea. It feels just easier to get along and play the game and not have to stress so much. Nature Reserve, here we come. Nature Reserve, here we come. I have a bad feeling about this, though. He's gonna be like, hey, have some more pamphlets. And I'm gonna be like, motherfucker. I will take some free nectar. Later, bees. Alright, let's get some terror reduction. A port report. Ornithologist ain't gonna take us in there right now. It's Turn in some research. No, I don't have anything to turn in. I could have killed those bees and had a thing, but I didn't. Guess I should have. You wonder how fast the terror goes up if it's horror or wind plus lights out? Yeah, probably pretty fast. More pamphlets. Yeah, it's just more to New Winchester. Nothing has changed. Alright, dude. Suffice to say, I am disappointed. Well, I guess one more trip back up to Winchester, and then we go to Albion. No more fucking around. I am not flying back up against that wind either. No, we don't really have to go back to New Winchester. We can just go to Albion right now. Yeah, some quests will probably lead me back here. Exactly. Well, there are still things that I haven't done here. I just can't really do them right now. Climbing to the top of the mountain in Lustrum, I haven't done. Getting all of the redemption, what do you call the things? The penances at Carillon, I haven't done. I know I have to come back to Titania to choose which direction Titania's going to go, which I can't do until I've been to other places. Other zones. Yeah, so there's at least Carillon stuff, that one thing in Lustrum, and that one thing in Titania to do here after I've been gone for a while and come back. And the right of wrongs I could do if I so desired. Don't know that I do desire it, though. But I'll do it, because it says it increases your iron at the cost of 2 other stats. I don't think I'd like that for general purposes, but when I'm going to go do a super hard iron thing, like climbing that mountain at Lustrum, then I would do the right of wrongs first. And put all of my iron-raising officers on and stuff. I said, choo, 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 your crew. 28,000 going into Albion. That feels good. Choo, 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 your crew. A choo, 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 your crew. Choo, 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 your crew. You're on a choo-choo and you've got crew to chew, so just choo, 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 your crew. Choo, 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 your crew. Choo, 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 your crew. A choo, 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 your crew. Choo, 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 your crew. You're on a choo-choo and you've got crew to chew, so just choo, 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 your crew. wonder if you can bring port reports from the Reach to London, or port reports from Albion to New Winchester. Like if port reports go between whole zones of the sky, or if they're more local. Like they're like, we don't give a shit what's going on way over there in the other side of space. Hope I can get some terror reduction here. Yes, I can take tea. That will, I think, reduce terror. Oh, I could do the ladies who brunch. That'll give me about a billion literatures. I don't remember what you got for these other things. I think gossip was pretty good. I think I got like a bunch of savage secrets for this or something. Let's do the gossip thing, and... oh yeah, you don't get shit for gossip! Maybe you get West Ender rep, but who cares? Ah, gossip was a terrible choice. Don't even get terror reduction from that shit. Don't need no bronze wood. I am gonna make sure I'm fueled and supplied going into Albion so that I'm not just running out as soon as I get there. If it's some kind of weird distance I have to go to get to London. Okay. I guess off we go. Albion time, motherfuckers. I'll be on my way. I'm excited. I have been on this fucking map for like 46, 47 hours. I get to go somewhere new. Alright. I've got plenty of permits. The superintendent is a stickler for proper procedure. Opening the way. At a Bronzewood kiosk, the superintendent examines your papers minutely, sticks them on a spike, then signs and stamps a small booklet for you. Your new transit permit. Union Jack Blue. Oh, this is a guy talking. Union Jack Blue, he says of its cover, as if it were something to be proud of. We have a passport. You may now travel between the regions of Albion and the Reach. Hell yes. I have to present myself to customs, apparently. On the hunt for contraband. A pinch-faced inspector boards the ship with their retinue.
Come on, hurry up. If you've nothing to hide, you've nothing to fear.
Their mouth cracks into something almost, but not entirely, like a smile.
Nothing from me, at least.
Alright, so if I had contraband, I'd be in trouble. But since I don't have contraband, I have nothing to declare, nothing to hide, and nothing to fear. With no explanation of what's contraband. Yeah, right? Well, I'm sure when you get contraband, you'll know it. A clean sweep. The pinch-faced inspector almost looks disappointed at having to give you a clean bill of passage.
Such a waste of time,
they mutter, stamping the customs form.
Go on. No reason to take up space here.
Your business here is concluded. It is time to continue your adventures in the high wilderness. Return to your engine. Your crew is eager to move on from here. Alright, so... I see. So maybe it's going to cost me a ministry stamp permit just to go there. So you can't just go back and forth all willy-nilly unless you're getting these permits. First class is reserved for those on Imperial business. You will need appropriate paperwork. But you could also go second class using barrels of hours. But it sounds like bad things can happen if you go that way. Away. Oh, I got terror reduction from going to Albion. That's nice. At the sight of your papers, the superintendent jumps to activate the relay. Its hour looms rumble, spinning the pocket of new time in which your locomotive will make its journey. Wrapped in your engine's new coat of hours, it will be hard to say how long the journey takes. But the hours used by Imperial officials are languid and seasoned. The passage should be at least tolerable. The machinery grinds and stirs, the steam vents, the sigils of the edifice burn with sullen fire. A force like a great hand seizes your engine. Oh, this is so exciting. Ooh. Oh, there's animations and everything. Oh, this is dope. And my train is gone. That was really cool. I wasn't expecting all that. Cry havoc. You hear a disturbance and... oh dear, it must be the dog again. Remember my dog? My, like, inadvisably big dog or whatever it's called? The baritone percussion of his barking echoes through the locomotive. There's a pressing question to consider. Where is the noise coming from? Check the hold. Where else would he go? The driver's cabin? Someone whoops from the direction of the driver's cabin? Or the rat's nesting area? The inadvisably big dog might have gone after your adorable vicious rodents. Best check he's alright. I'm gonna go check out the rat's area, of course. The rat's quarters are even more calamitously messy than before. A thin sheet of saliva coats everything, including some of the rats. No one takes notice of you. Both the rats and the inadvisably big dog are preoccupied. I can put the fear of God into the rats. Or I can grab that dog. Grab that dog. You leap forward, hands closing around the inadvisably big dog's tail. A mistake. His excitement knows no pause, no wait, no pause. The inadvisably big dog drags you along as he tears through the rat's quarters, barking rapturously. Eventually, you manage to crawl up onto the dog's back and wrestle him to the floor. With the help of the rats, you wrestle the fluffy menace out. That was cute. Oh, look at this big fancy-ass relay place. Show me my map. Oh my god, look how big this is. And I'm not in the center, interestingly enough. This one leads to the Reach, a sunless wilderness rich in opportunity and peril, coveted by London. So, I could go back to the Reach. Oh, you can even pay sovereigns to get back. Only 200. So if you didn't have these other things, it'd still be pretty easy to get back. Alright, well, we're not going back. Remaining in Albion. Wow, look at all this, like, urban buildup. I'm gonna send the bat out immediately. This is fucking cool. Your scout has nothing to report, except that the sky is vast and the winds bite. Dude, look at all this mechanical stuff. This is really different from where I was before. Like, on the map, it just looks like normal terrain, but now it looks like we're going through the Ryan Inventive Engineering Co. It's like one giant city or something. Still shit to crash into, though. I've crashed into my first thing in Albion. Milestones. I'm assuming that the London port is near the center of the map, because I believe they're all supposed to be near the center of the map for the major ports. Obviously, I could be wrong. Oh shit, there's a weird tentacle it's like Old Tom's Well ahead of me. What the shit is that? Unraveling time. A weft of unraveling time. You have strayed into a place where the weave of time has frayed. The sky groans, the borders that separate past and future crumble, and your engine is dragged in. 27% chance to get away from the weft. You will not emerge unchanged. Well, we gotta go into a weft, right? I just don't know whether or not to do it. Should we go to the right or to the left? No one left behind? Alright, it'll not emerge unchanged. The sky boils. The boiler rumbles. The chimneys spume. You urge your locomotive forward into the churn of time. The present quivers, falters, and is torn away. The horological office in London may be able to tell you more about your encounter. Oh, this is cool. Within the weft, past and future knot like dueling pythons. Nothing is constant. Another age washes over your locomotive, and everything changes. When you leave the weft, some of your present circumstances will follow you out. Be careful when you depart. Escape the days of innocence. This is an hour from the recent past. The captain's log is open on the arm of your chair. You've just written the date of a recent departure from port. The manifest shows your stores, healthy with fuel and supplies. The crew chatter cheerfully. They do not know what awaits them. If I choose this one, I will gain fuel and supplies, but I will lose sky stories, which I don't give a fuck about, and experience, which I also don't give a fuck about because I'm already leveling really fast. Or I can remain in the weft and try to get a different. I want to see what the other ones are. Perhaps if you tolerate this current present a while longer, or hide from it, or pray, it will pass. Perhaps another time will replace it. Perhaps you will like that time better. Times change. Ah, you're gaining terror as you stay in here, though. You have only to endure, and the chaos of the weft will sweep your current circumstances away as another time gains dominance. You can feel its approach, a roaring like a gathering tide. The longer you are in the weft, the easier it is to leave, but the more serious the effects may be. Escape days yet to come. Perhaps this is a near future. Your engine looks the same. There are familiar faces among your crew. But here, beside the captain's chair, is a logbook more thumbed than your own. You cannot resist perusing the accounts of journeys you have yet to make. It is not comforting reading. Alright, let's remain in the weft. We're weft riders. Oh shit, the terror. The weft is a ruin of time now, weak but spiteful. Escape a grim ending. A cold future. Your locomotive is silent. Its engine is still. Its coal store is empty. As you make your way to the bridge, you step over slumped corpses, pale in fine coats of frost. On the navigator's table is a brittle map, charting a desperate course somewhere no one has any business. There is a corpse in the captain's chair, too. You do not look. I can lose fuel and crew, which sounds pretty bad. It won't even let me remain in the weft anymore. I now have to choose this one. So you can only choose to remain in the weft a couple of times. So I'm going to lose some fuel and crew right now. Alright, escape a grim ending. Back to the present. I just got then and back again achievement. You strip the beds and the bodies. You gather books, charts, logs, letters, anything that can burn. It is enough, just, to melt the ice blocking the pipes and muster a wisp of steam to nudge you from the weft. As you emerge, the present and the future collide, but they fit together imperfectly. A broken bone, badly set. Your stores of fuel are a barrel down, and there are still frozen bodies in the corridors. I got an unlicensed chart and 3 tales of terror. I lost a fuel and 3 crew. You've escaped the weft of unraveling time. It's not the date that it was. More crew members dead. Well, that's not great, okay? But unraveling time. Nothing to worry about there. I'm sure the fatalistic signalman laughs hollow. Can I just go into the time weft as much as I want? Dare I go into the time weft as much as I want? Or is like each time weft a one-time deal? A one-time deal. That's a cool looking effect though. Or maybe it's on a cooldown like a lot of other things in the game. If I come back here, you know, several days later or a month later or something, maybe I can time. Let's do the time weft again. London sprawls across the heavens. Its tea shops and factories. Its gardens and orphanages. Its ministries and gin houses. Something to the south. Oh my god. Why am I crashing into every building? I'm fucking drunk. Texting while chewing. Ah, free stuff. Free haul. Like Jones. Pulling a Jones. I love how different this area feels than the Reach. The Ministry of Public Decency. Wow. Oh shit! I forgot! I'm fucking kill on sight! For the London, so all the dreadnoughts around London are going to kill me on sight. What have I done? What is that? A platform? The fuck is a platform? I need to get back in the good graces of London. At least good enough graces to, not get killed on sight. The Crown and Misery Yards. I don't know what a platform is. It's not a station, quote unquote. So... The Wit and Vinegar Lumber Company. This is basically a port. It has a bazaar. Although it's not much of a port. It doesn't have a normal shop. And there's no bargains available. The head offices of a lumber concern that imports bronze wood from the Reach. Hey, what's up, Askell? What have you done? I'm on the side of the Tacketies. The people who want independence from London, from the Empire. And they love me. I've done glorious deeds for them. Unfortunately, that means the Stovepipes, which is the faction of London and the Empire, they hate me, and they've got me on a kill-on-sight list. So, that's not the best thing, considering I'm at London now. The Wit and Vinegar Lumber Company operates primarily in the Reach, mining bronze wood and transporting it back to London for construction, furniture, and locomotive plating. Its loading platform is frequented by brawny, wind-bitten men, lugging slabs of bronze wood into the warehouse. Take your leave. The workers give you unsympathetic stares. We're trying to work. It ain't safe for tourists. You return to your engine. The workers watch you as you go. Suspicious lot, aren't they? Now I wonder if I'm unwelcome here because of my reputation with London, or if you'd just always be unwelcome here until something else happens. Albion is really cool, though. I'm heading right for the center. Center of the mechanical sun. That's pretty cool. The Throne of Hours. No! Oh, shit. What is it shooting? Please nettle. A glorious dreadnought. That means tougher than the dreadnoughts you've been fighting before. Oh, there's a port. Okay, this might be it. This might be proper London. The excited shriek of train whistles, the hiss of steam, the clamor of countless voices. London. London. Touch of the Skies. We've seen this before. We'll just send them back to work. Partial success, damn it! You administer a stern word and a reminder of their duties. They return to work, but their obsession continues to prey on them. Your locomotive's efficiency suffers as a result. Where's the big London discovery? Thank you. Achievement progress, the Clockwise Kingdom. A new port, Captain! Your crew crowd to the windows. This is St. Dominic's Station, apparently. Oh my god, the hugeness of what this whole new area to explore. I'm overwhelmed. I just crashed into London. An approach from a gloomy middleman. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a long-faced man in a battered coat approaches your locomotive and asks for a moment of your time. This story was unlocked because you have veils of 40 or more. Oh, good to know. Let's hear what he has to say. I didn't realize whole new stories were unlocked based on your stats. That's crazy. He fiddles with the bent brim of his hat as you approach, his face as solemn as a basset hound. An offer of work. His voice is nasal, his eyes gray. I will not wish you a good day. You are a person of intelligence, and the day is manifestly miserable. I myself am newly afflicted by the gout, which has made my mornings a parade of wretchedness. That writing, though. No doubt you have your own misfortunes, into which I will not pry. Instead, let us move to the happier subject of business. You have come to my attention for the very reasons you avoid others. Your subtlety and your cunning. My employer may have work for you. Profitable work, but perilous and profoundly illegal. Should you be interested, seek me at the Admiral Benbow Inn here in London. With that, he takes his leave, tutting at the thickness of the fog before he dons his crooked hat and vanishes into the crowd. Speak to the gloomy middleman at the Admiral Benbow Inn in London to learn more about smuggling. Ooh, smuggling. Okay. St. Dominic's Station. London's chief station, draped in Union Jacks and studded with bronze busts of Her Enduring Majesty. The platforms crowd with people. If the throne of ours is London's heart, this is its carotid artery. Cool. St. Dominic's Station. Alright, time to start making a fuck ton of notes. St. Dominic's Station. There's prospects available. Bronzewood for the Floating Parliament. Literature for the Clockwork Sun. I will take them! Required 5 consignments of good bronzewood for vital restoration works to the parliamentary undercroft. Floating Parliament lies a long way to the east-southeast of London. The fruits of their labor. Literature for the Clockwork Sun. The Dazzled Sequencer requires 5 consignments of ministry-approved literature for the engineers who maintain the Clockwork Sun, to remind them of the culture that their hard work sustains. Clockwork Sun lies a long way to the southwest of London. Okay. I can get my stuff out of the bank now. That's good. Alright, let's see what they've got at Spitalfields Market. A busy market, arched with glass and steel. It looks like Spitalfields Market only sells the very standard Spitalfields Market. And I think it's standard pricing. 20 and 40. Alright, fuel. Supplies. And I can sell anything here. Now, are these sale prices? I gotta check and see if they're the same as the sale prices in new. Okay, so seeds for 40, crockery for 50, munitions for 60, souls for 70, hours for 80, 90 for tea, 100 for literature, 135 for glass, 150, 175, 200, 250, 300. Okay, these are identical prices for buying. So I'm not going to write them all down again. Alright, then we'll check out St. Dominic's. Actually, I want to look at the fucking trains. Oh, these are different trains than the ones, or at least some of these trains are different than the ones in... Okay, hold on. Crown and Misery Co. Yards. Alright, they sell the Parseval class Courser. Which ones did they sell in Winchester? In Winchester they sold Parseval, Pellinor, Bedivere, and Moloch. Parseval, Pellinor, Bedivere. Okay, so the only one that's different is the Agravain class Juggernaut. I think the Bedivere is the same. I think the Pellinor is the same. And the Parseval is the same. Then there's the Juggernaut, a thundering puissance, the terror of the skies, the harbinger of conflict. That thing's pretty sweet looking. And it's pretty nice, but I don't think it's as nice. I don't think it's as... Well, it's definitely not as good as the Moloch. And it's a lot cheaper than the Moloch. I think I should go back and buy the Moloch, you guys. I was hoping there'd be a ship that I liked more than the Moloch here, but there's not. I have a nice buffer of money too, so if I buy the Moloch, I'll still have lots of money left over. Okay, hold on. So here we are at Albion. They've got the Courser for 1,500. They've got the Pellinor. They've got the Pellinor for 3,500. These ships kind of suck, though. They've got the Bedivere. I mean, I'm writing them down just for the sake of having extensive notes, but there's virtually no chance I'll come back and buy any of those three ships. The Agravain class, the nice thing about this, at least, is it has extra armor. It has an extra armor slot. Plus a lot of hull, so... And it's cheap compared to the... It's cheap compared to the Moloch. I'm going to be in Albion forever, Nox. You saw how long I was in the Reach, and the Reach is smaller than Albion. So I'm going to be here forever. So I might as well just go ahead and buy that Moloch class. The Juggernaut's pretty cool too, though. Juggernaut's pretty cool, but it's just not as cool. Oh, man, I've been running this spatchcock forever. Alright, let's see what augmentations they have. There's a gun called Her Renewed Majesty's Jubilee. Alright, so this is St. Dominic's augmentations. And maintained by the Ministry, this yard for engine improvements and enhancements is a cut above. So they got the Cotterell and Hathor Sage, Jerusalem, which there's no chance I would ever buy that shitty gun. Cotterell and Hathor Sage. $250. The speciometer assaying device. Assaying! I've been looking for you. The speciometer assaying device. And it only costs $400. A sophisticated machine for the sophisticated captain. Never be confounded by the wonders of the high wilderness again. I like it. I'm buying one. They've got the Crown and Misery. Pneumatic mining array. That costs $400. What kind of slot? That's a lightning bolt slot. That's a lightning bolt slot. Okay. Buy a better cannon too? Yeah, I'll see if there's a better cannon that I like here too. I just need to make my notes extensive. That's an aux slot item. That's an aux slot item. Okay, then they've got the Caminus Yards Brass Raven, which I believe they had at the other place too. Another cannon. What is it? What's the stats on that bad boy? Oh, it's the rapid fire. Yeah, they had this at the other place. I'm never gonna buy that probably. They've got the Bronzewood Shielding, which is exactly like my Bronzewood Shielding. Bronzewood Shielding, which takes up the armor slot. Then there's the Cozy Cabins, which take up the aux slot as well for $310. Then there's the Caminus Yards Grimalkin, which is another gun that they had at the other place. Which I don't actually like. I almost like it because its damage to heat ratio is better than my current guns. But I can't blast off with 50 damage at once like I can with... Probably worth it though. Excuse me. Something weird going on. I hear you talking, but the screen is not updating. Maybe try refreshing the stream. I'm not sure. The Grimalkins are kind of nice. I could double blast with the Grimalkins and do 30 damage instead of 50, but doing that 30 damage, I would only fill up my heat to half instead of full. And then if I shot them again, I would have done 60 damage, filling up my heat to full instead of 50. So they are better. They are better. But let's see if there's an even better cannon here. Then there's Sensible Plumbing, which is bridge slot plus 6 quarters. What do I have in my bridge slot? I have cramped quarters. So this is a slightly better version of what I've got here. Alright, then there's the Cotterell and Hathersage Beulah, which they also had at the other place. Hold on a second. Alright, sorry. Okay, so the Beulah, which is another rapid-fire gun that I'm not a huge fan of. The Beulah. Which is a cannon. Then they've got the Durandal, which the other place also had. Pressure canning system, which is for butchery. And takes up the aux slot. The aux slot. It costs $8.80. Then there's the Wit and Vinegar Sneeze Lurker, which is a cannon, essentially, for 1100. And that's the one that basically drops mines behind you. That'd be kind of like back that aft up, but then there's the Wood and Vinegar Winch and Pulley, plus 8 hold. I already have one of those. Yes, I do. Which is also aux slot. Everything's aux slot, man. Then there's... Now, this is a new one. The Caminus Yards Black Jape is a new one that they did not have at the other place. Can I be heard? I can be heard, right? It's a cannon, but you have to have 50 iron. I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all. An automatic shotgun, which compensates in efficiency for what it lacks in power. Many a Skyfarers found themselves distributed widely and bloodily after underestimating the Black Jape. That sounds cool. But you have to have 50 iron, which I'm not going to have anytime soon, that's for sure. Now, I don't think we had fitted cupboards. We didn't have fitted cupboards. Hey, Amaranth. Which is a bridge slot. $1,500. We did not have fitted cupboards. A complete renovation to your bridge, installing an aesthetically pleasing array of built-in storage space into the very walls. +7 hold is amazing on a bridge slot, but you have to have 50 iron. Fucking iron. Everything's iron. Oh, except for ratty baggage handlers, which we also didn't have before. I like the sound of this. I like the sound of this.
Where'd you want it, camping? Over by the ammunition? Terrible idea. Look, just give it here. Me and the lads will put it away properly. You just keep the cheese coming.
Have to have 50 plus veils, which I have. It's an oxide with +11 hold. That is glorious, and more rat stuff on the ship. +11 hold. My current one only gives me +8. Then there's the Portsmouth House. This is also new. Alright. Let's read about it. Up, my Britons! On my chariot! On my chargers! Trample them under us! An eruption of hateful radiance with a light homing ability. It's a fucking missile. It can be detonated remotely and with enormous power. It must be mounted in a large weapon slot. Well, if I get the Moloch class has a large weapon slot. So that's pretty dope. It doesn't do much damage, though. For all that heat. I mean, yeah, it has a great range, but... what other large weapon slot weapons are there? At the other place, there was the Albertine Candle, which was a large weapon slot. And I don't remember what the stats on that were. So we've got the Portsmouth House. Her renewed Majesty's Jubilee. Which costs $18.80 as well. Alright. Well, before I can know what augmentations to buy, I need to know what I've got room for on my new ship. So I gotta go back and get my... Moloch. I think. I am a little disappointed that they didn't have a new ship here that I wanted. But that's okay. Because the Moloch is really good. Really good. So before we go back to get the other ship. We're going to do all the stories we can in London first. Then we'll go back and get the other ship. And we'll come back and we'll get it all outfitted with the best of stuff. Okay. So, St. Dominic Station. Let's do some of the things. Oh, I can get a Clayman from my train. I love Clayman. Alright, let's just explore London first. Liberated from her prison below the earth and elevated to the heavens. Prickled with chimneys, mantled in sooty smog. Here are old, proud buildings, transported block by pale block to the sky. Here are new edifices of soaring steel and stone and gleaming glass. The ultimate achievement of Victorian ambition, unhampered by terrestrial concerns. London is a feverish brew of aspiration, empire, and appetite. Help the incautious driver hunt for the verdant fragment. Their connection to its progenitor should assist. 0%! The more places you search, the easier your search will get. Failing here will not harm your quest. Well, if failing here won't harm my quest, let's try it. A failed attempt. The incautious driver spends hours sniffing at the air in search of familiar spores, but to no avail. We should try somewhere else, they reluctantly decide, shuffling with uncharacteristic glumness back towards the train. Ah, the Baroness of Hell for the repentant devil, but I need immaculate souls, and I don't know where to get those. Go with the navigator. Okay, so our navigator friend was wanting us to visit London. Would be nice to get a quartermaster at some point. What? Oh my god! I just thought the inadvisably big dog was a plot thing. I didn't realize it was an actual mascot choice. I mean, it's not nearly as good as the Blemmigan Voyager. He is huge, he is enthusiastic, he is hairy. He wants very badly to help. Oh my gosh, it's an actual member of my crew! I didn't know the dog was in my crew! That's so fucking cool! You have not found that dog. What's up, C-Spot Sit? I don't remember where I got the dog. Do you remember where I got the dog, Nox? It stares at you, drooling with love. When you meet its gaze, its vast tail wags, dusting your wash things from the sink onto the floor. Pat the dog. Who's a good dog? Clumsy joy. If goodness requires that things are not destroyed in a creature's wake, this dog is probably not a good dog. Nevertheless, the mere asking of the question has caused it to ascend into a riot of joy. Your slippers will never be the same again, but it's a rare sight to see something in the high wilderness so innocently happy. I like the writing in this. Poport prospered during the celebration. Oh hey, thanks for the raid, C-Spot Sit. How you doing? Welcome. I really appreciate that. Welcome, C-Spot Sit viewers. Just playing some Sunless Sea. I mean, Sunless Skies. I always say Sunless Sea for some reason. Sunless Skies. Alright, so we have the inadvisably big dog. That's great. But I wanted to check in with this guy. Okay, he doesn't really say anything about his mission, so let's just take him to the ambassador's house. I don't remember what his promise was about because it's been so long since I recruited him and talked to him originally. The navigator waits for you.
I've been away for some time. Your vouching for me would make a good impression. I want to make her proud.
The house is small, but is in an expensive location. It is well kept. The windows are clean, the steps freshly swept. Asphodel is flourishing in an urn by the steps.
It still feels like home.
The navigator gazes at the front door.
It feels strange to know I'm just visiting.
Let's ring the doorbell. The navigator stands beside you. He fidgets with a loose thread on his sleeve. Startled, but delighted, the grieving matriarch herself opens the door. She sees the navigator and yelps. She laughs. It disintegrates into tears. The navigator enfolds the woman in a hug. The matriarch glares up at the navigator fondly. Glare fondly. Haven't heard those two put together before.
I've been so worried. The moment I knew you'd signed up. It's so dangerous out there. What if something had happened to you, too?
She hustles the pair of you into the drawing room.
My husband's at work. He'll be disappointed to have missed you.
I stayed in the Reach. Are there 2 other worlds or just Albion? There are 3 other worlds. Spot. That's hard to say. C-Spot, Sit. There's Albion and Eleutheria and the Blue Kingdom, as well as the Reach. I just left the Reach, finally. I played the Reach forever, and I just got to Albion, like, an hour ago. Albion is even bigger than the Reach. Eleutheria is about the same size as the Reach, and the Blue Kingdom is smaller. You just bought the Governor's Mansion? I don't know what that is. In the Reach? Wait, what? How do you buy a mansion in the Reach? Oh, the wealth quest. You have to have the wealth ambition. I have the other one. The Song of the Sky ambition. So that's why I didn't get to do that. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I wrote a book. Still working on the book. In-game. And out-of-game. Alright. The navigator has been welcomed home by his friend's mother. The grieving matriarch is determined you'll join her for tea. She even refuses to let the servants assist. She is rushing towards the kitchen when the navigator intervenes.
We can't stay long. I mustn't impose on the captain. I promise I'll come back soon.
He draws the matriarch close and lowers his voice.
I came to ask. May I borrow the key? I haven't been able to pay my respects.
The grieving matriarch looks mortified. Stand there and listen or give them some privacy. I feel like my character would be respectful and give them some privacy. It would be unkind to intrude their privacy at such a time. You could peruse the photos in the hallway. Homely for an ambassador. The walls are covered in family photos. Frames jostle for space. In the oldest pictures, the navigator appears as a young, freckled girl, skirted and scowling. In the later ones, he is a tall, short-haired youth, his arm casually flung around his friend's shoulders. Oh, the navigator is trans. Interesting. The matriarch bustles, not hustles, bustles. Very different. Hustle and bustle. Not the same thing. Not the same thing as trundle either, which, as we know, is the ultimate form of transportation. The matriarch bustles past. A couple of minutes later, she returns carrying a large book. This time, she attempts to smile. Finally, the navigator comes out into the hall.
I have what I need.
He has the book under one arm and is holding up a large iron key. What does it open?
The family tomb. In Eagle's Empyrean. They took Alton back there.
Speak to the unfortunate navigator aboard your... Oh, that's a lot of experience and some gossip. The navigator has been given the key to Alton's family tomb, as if we know who Alton is. I think he did tell us who Alton was when we talked to him a million years ago, but it's been so long ago I forgot. In the Eagle's Empyrean, speak to him aboard your engine to continue. Let's speak to him aboard my engine. Converse with the navigator. It's important to keep an eye on the well-being of your crew, starting with your first officer. The navigator takes his feet off his desk when you enter his cabin. He's been reading The Epic of King Gisar. That sounds like Gunan the Barbarian. It's like an off-brand epic. Like the B-epic version of the Epic of Gilgamesh or something.
I always could get lost in it. Now, rereading it feels more important.
Alright, let's talk to him again. Hold on. Persuade the navigator to talk. I can do this because I have savage secrets. Even off duty, the navigator is constantly checking the crew. He is avoiding being alone. Let him know that you've seen this before. He has to share his burden. A needed confidant. The navigator joins you in his cabin. Finally, the words tumble out.
I thought I was all right. I just got on with my work and I was doing well.
He reaches beneath his bunk to pull out the book the matriarch gave him.
Alton read this all the time. He'd act it out, do the voices.
Who does that? It is the Epic of King Gisar.
Alton knew the true me. He shared his clothes, helped me bind my chest the first time, got me into my first fist fight.
The navigator sits up proudly.
He was my best friend.
So this is about her becoming him.
When we were children, I made a promise to him.
The navigator stares blindly at the book. The navigator made a promise to his friend when they were young. I'm not worried about losing savage secrets since I know how to get virtually endless savage... Not just virtually, actually endless savage secrets. Because I can trade a small amount of gratitude with the Tackities for savage secrets anytime I want. And I can just get it easily from delivering port reports to them. So I can get as many savage secrets as I want with no trouble. And what did he promise? And why does it prey on him? The promise.
When we were grown up, we would go exploring together. We'd go on great quests, do mighty things.
The navigator takes several breaths before continuing.
We'd be heroes. People would write stories about us.
I'm exploring the skies and... The navigator turns his face away.
He didn't even get to leave home.
He wipes his eyes on his sleeve and stands resolute.
I'm not going to break my promise. I will give him adventures worthy of King Gisar. Please, Captain, I want to go to Eagle's Empyrean. I'm breaking him out of his tomb.
Tomb break.
But I'll need your help. You'll need a visa to come with me. The London Embassy there will give you one.
He frowns.
If you've not been to Eleutheria, the relay is near Hybris, in the Reach.
We did find the relay to Eleutheria, I remember. The navigator would like you to help him steal his friend's body from a graveyard at Eagle's Empyrean. In before Resurrection Quest, yeah. And then we're going to turn his friend into a zombie. Alright, well that sounds fun, but it doesn't sound like something we're going to be doing anytime soon. My game is frozen. The navigator's promise. Okay. Alright, what else can we do? We can wander the streets. How often does one find themselves with a spare moment in London? A day in London. All of the pubs are shut. So too are the salons, parks, gambling dens, honey houses, gin palaces, chop shops, and backstreet bookshops. The ministry have wind of illegality. They are abroad today. Alright, let's meet with the gloomy middleman and decide whether or not we want to do his smuggling stuff. He conducts business in a smoky corner of the Admiral Benbow Inn, down in the smoggy lower levels of the city. Smuggling. The middleman is nursing the same glass of beer he began the evening with. Ah, milady, to claim it is a good evening would be duplicitous, but it is at least an evening, and here you are in it. He waits until you sit. My employer can open a profitable door for you. There are goods that Her Majesty's government do not want to see bought or sold. Prohibition begets scarcity. Scarcity begets profit. One example of this contraband is red honey, gathered by the midnight rose at Titania. Oh, see? I'm already getting quests that send me back to the Reach. Unfortunately, supplies have dried up. Prove your value. Find out why and fix the problem. Visit the Midnight Rose at Titania to learn why their deliveries of red honey have slowed. See, this is going to be contraband. Now the question is, how do you get the contraband past customs? We can't look for the Baroness because we don't have a selection of Immaculate Souls, and I don't have the slightest clue where to get one. Alright, so that's Explore London. Now, we've been carrying this fucking coffin around since literally the beginning of the game, and we've been waiting to get to London to do something about it. So now we get to do something about it. To find the address given in Captain Whitlock's will, you make your way through little-used streets in one of London's lower, smoggier levels. On a secluded courtyard, flanked by the backs of warehouses and factories, stands a tall, grey house with one door and no windows. When you knock, a blind butler answers, "Yes?" Deliver the black box. Fulfill Captain Whitlock's last request. The end of the line. The butler is pleased. "Ah, our resident has arrived. Please, bring him in. Everything has been prepared according to Captain Whitlock's instructions." As you maneuver the black box inside, you ask what those instructions were. "She has arranged for Master Jacob's convalescence with us. I understand the young gentleman has suffered from a prolonged illness which has left him unable to speak and afflicted him with a delicate disposition. The affairs of the house have been organized in such a way as to never inconvenience him. He will require no visitors. An extensive library has been provided for his edification. Privacy is paramount." With the box in place, the butler produces a key from his pocket, but waits for you to leave before using it. So some dude named Jacob was in that box this whole time. "Thank you for your assistance, my lady. If Amelia were still with us, she would thank you. Good day." You leave the house without windows behind. The matter of Captain Whitlock's legacy finally discharged. I didn't get that much for that, considering how long I waited to do something with the box. Oh, I guess 2,000 experience is quite a bit. You've delivered the box to an address in London as Captain Whitlock requested. A Sky story. You no longer possess a large black box. A savage secret. The 2,000 experience is pretty solid, though. Well, that quest is finally done. Oh, let's recruit the clay conductor. A hulking clayman in a heavy coat stands on the platform. Look at that guy. Claymen look cool. They're like Gollum dudes. Another first officer? Are you being serious? I have too many first officers already. Why can't I get a quartermaster? I have none. I said, are you being serious? A hulking clayman in a heavy coat stands on the platform. The claymen were an underclass in old London. Very few of them came to the skies. This one holds an urn to his chest. Knox says this guy must be used to performing hard labor. Okay. Conducting our train would be child's play to him.
You're a captain. You can perform funeral rites,
He says, nodding to the urn in his arms.
Then I want to travel.
He pauses for a long moment, and then, as if feeling something more might be expected,
I could help out on your engine.
He doesn't seem lazy at all. Say a few words about death in the sky. Skyfarers are accustomed to impromptu funerals. 3 sky stories, not a problem. The clay conductor. You ask the conductor where he would like to hold the ceremony. He looks about, confused, as though he hadn't expected the question. At last he comes to a conclusion.
Here will do,
he says, indicating the crowded thoroughfare. You and a few of the more respectable of your crew gather for a brief funeral. Everyone has at least something in black. You offer the expected phrasings before pausing for the eulogy. Clay conductor shakes his head.
You do it,
he grunts. I can insist he speaks, or I can extemporize something. Well, my character's a poet and a writer, so I think she would take the opportunity to extemporize something. You render up a bounty of platitudes, benign wishes to the beyond, and maudlin remembrances of departed friends. The conductor frowns, stonily, realizing he needs to give you at least something to work with.
He could sing,
he manages. You work a line about a man of clay with the voice of an angel into the eulogy. The conductor seems satisfied.
Where's your engine? I'm ready to assume my duties.
The conductor picks up the urn and heads off in the direction you point. I got a new officer. He's literally hanging out of the frame of the UI. An experienced first officer, the clay conductor is invaluable in a locomotive emergency. Calm, ruthlessly strong, and largely impervious to fire. He gives 6 hearts, 2 iron. I'd gain 4 hearts and 2 iron, and I'd lose 6 mirrors. Losing 6 mirrors seems bad. Seems very bad. I don't know if I'm going to make him my actual first officer at this point, but what I will do is talk to him. The clay conductor has taken a berth in the back of your locomotive. He has made no attempt to personalize his cabin. All of his things, including the urn with his friend's dust, are stuffed into a suitcase that sits forlornly on the floor. He performs his duties with plodding diligence. He keeps up the maintenance of the engine, ensures things run as you would wish them to, and ostensibly looks after the crew. He does not socialize, and when not working, keeps to his bunk. Well, I can't restore his voice because I could get this. This is in the bank right now. So let's start with spending time with the clay conductor. Perhaps he would appreciate a visit from his captain. No one else talks to him. A happy traveler.
Yes.
He doesn't look up from a large volume of sheet music. Slow hymns like the drift of continents, made from the melody of plate-shifting earthquakes. You attempt to engage him in conversation. He responds to this with reluctance. He is content for the moment. His days have been tolerable. No, he does not need anything. When you eventually give up and make to go, he seems relieved. Let's hit the bank real quick. Grab some nectar. And restore his voice. You've overheard him attempting to sing, but he gave up quickly. His voice was gravelly and out of practice. Some nectar might help lubricate the vocal cords. A friend in need. The clay conductor fetches a spoon and several lumps of sugar. He mashes the lumps into the honey. Yeah, because what honey needs is more sugar, am I right? Then gargles the concoction. When he is done, you wrangle a little of his past from him. The clay conductor was in the clay choirs. His dead companion was a very talented clay chorister.
I have hopes of finding someone with as good a voice again. One cannot be a chorus alone. I've heard tell of a clayman in the most serene mausoleum.
Quest. The clay conductor tails off, clearly desiring your assistance, but unsure how to formulate the question. He stares at his feet instead. Alright, he wishes to visit the most serene mausoleum, so we just got the clay conductor's quest. Good stuff. You know, it'd be cool having a quartermaster. I'm just saying, Fallen Sunless Skies. I've been playing for like 50 hours, no quartermaster. Alright. Let's check out the Silken Salon. The generous princess manages many affairs of court, not to be confused with the incognito princess. Wait, is this her sister or something? Or is she just called a princess, but not actually, like, the actual princess? The generous princess manages many affairs of court. She cultivates alliances, forms opinions, sets trends, makes introductions, suggests promotions, and dismantles reputations. So in other words, she's just got a really popular Instagram. She's an influencer. She attracts rumors like a lantern attracts moths. It's said that she fears the light of the suns, and that her gifts inevitably destroy the recipients. She can sometimes be found in her salon, where she welcomes visiting captains. Alright, so this is just like the person back in The Reach that you can sell Sky Stories to for all sorts of things, except for here, you can sell gossips. And gossips have been a lot harder for me to get, so I'm not keen to sell any gossips right now. You can also donate ministry stamped permits. Or you can cash in some of your cryptic benefactors. Or if you have a royal dispensation, you can... Basically, it's all for money and XP, which I find to be quite plentiful in both cases, so I doubt I will ever come here and use any of these services unless I somehow get a massive surplus of one of these things. Like if I find a never-ending gossip source or something and I end up with 50, 60, 70 gossips, then I might... Even then I probably won't. I don't really want to level up any faster. So I don't really want extra experience just for the sake of extra experience. So probably won't do any of these. Alright, finally I can meet with my publisher and continue my work on my book, The Song of the Sky. The Song of the Sky looms in your mind, a half-finished monument. Meet the omnivorous publisher. You arrive at the publisher's new office, a gleaming building with an elevator, a courtyard, and an honest-to-goodness water feature. Ooh, a water feature. Publisher in London. The omnivorous publisher strides down to meet you, followed by a platoon of assistants, lawyers, bodyguards, and hangers-on. Trying to remember what kind of voice I used for the omnivorous publisher before. There's my star! It probably wasn't this voice, but it is this voice now. There's my star! He cries, his hand clammily finding yours. Let me show you around! He takes you on a tour of his new office, dwelling particularly on the new presses. Very modern! And the several life-size portraits of himself. Quite an excellent likeness, yes? When finished, he claps your shoulder and offers you the decaying approximation of a smile. Man, the writing. Our hard work is really paying off, he says. I think it's about time you saw a share of the profits. Now tell me, where's the next canto? 1,000 sovereigns, share of the profits. Okay. Perform another momentous exploit. I might have already performed another momentous exploit without even realizing it. 6th canto time. Oh, I can't write the 6th canto because I haven't actually done a momentous exploit. He assures you that in order to break through the London market, you'll need to write about another of your most famous exploits. Oh, I did! I discovered the fate of the Parzival. That's a momentous thing. You've tamed time. Undertaken all the well rites. Ah, so there's a reason to do the right of wrongs also, is so that you can become the Saint of Wells. Become a member of Parliament, revolutionary, stole a jewel from the crown. You are the enemy of the gods. That sounds kind of cool. But I've already done this. I've discovered the fate of the Parzival, so... The publisher leans back amid a halo of smoke. Imagine I'm the average man on the street, by which I mean a Philistine of the lowest order. What have you done lately to capture my attention? You've discovered one of the legendary wrecks. The fate of the Parzival. The publisher is silent for a long time once you finish telling your tale. He blinks a few times. Even his cigarette has extinguished. Stunning, he says, finally. Make sure you write it exactly like that. Your deeds are worth publishing. Let's write the 6th canto. Your writing will need to be novel and enticing if you hope to delight the more experienced palates of London. I just leveled up. 15,000 experience? What? That's a lot. The city bustles outside your window, paying you very little mind. It's liberating, somehow, to be in a city where you're relatively unknown. In New Winchester, the weight of expectation was crushing. Here, the indifference feels like freedom. I do like me some indifference to my existence. You have a momentous adventures to write about. 15,000. Alright. As you contemplate the blank page, awaiting inspiration, you realize that throughout the course of the song you've written of your crew only when necessary. Perhaps now is the time to tell their stories in more detail, or are they just going to remain your supporting cast? Their stories deserve the limelight. Your crew are as important a part of the tapestry as you, especially the, 19 of them or something that I've killed. Maybe we could try Saito. We don't want to level up in Dark Sun. Your crew are as important a part of the tapestry as you. A rich cast. It is decided. In addition to depicting your most recent exploits, the 6th canto will delve into the stories of your crew. You were careful to get their permission first, of course. At this point,
a role of prominence in the Song of the Sky has the potential to bring unwelcome attention from readers, critics, journalists, and other reprobates. Critics and journalists are reprobates, apparently. Nice. And readers. Publishing the 6th canto. A moment of hesitation, and then a dam bursts in your mind. Words flood the page and carry you forward in an irresistible current, until you are flung into an ending, as though dashed upon rocks. The result is rushed and imperfect. Grimly, you go back. You knock the story down and rebuild it, brick by painstaking brick, working with the nihilist fury of a master blacksmith forging his own guillotine. Finally, just as you are ready to throw your entire manuscript into the fire, you realize that you no longer need to. There's nothing left to fix. The 6th canto is complete. The omnivorous publisher sends a lackey to collect your manuscript. The publisher is attending some very important parties promoting your work, says the assistant, tucking the 6th canto beneath her arm without reading it. He sends his apologies. Okay, let's investigate the publisher's office. You haven't heard any word of the canto's publication, and you haven't been abducted by the publisher for another book tour. Has something gone wrong? The 6th canto's reception. As you approach the publisher's London office, I gotta say, doing this Song of the Sky in this game is way the fuck more interesting than doing the Song of the Sea in Sunless Sea, which barely had much story to it at all. It was just collect a bunch of hard-ass shit. This makes it feel like it's a real storyline. I mean, it is a real storyline. As you approach the publisher's London office, you spot a thin plume of smoke. It's a charred ruin. You ask one of the surrounding policemen what happened. I came to close the place down by order of the Ministry of Public Decency. Publication of subversive materials, you see. The constable waves something that you recognize as the 6th canto. When we got here, the publisher fought back. Gunfire was exchanged. Said he'd burn the place to the ground before he paid taxes, which was funny, because we weren't there for taxes. What happened to him? The constable shrugs. On the run. We'll find him. You must find a way to publish the 6th canto in defiance of the Ministry of Public Decency. Looks like I've got a couple options. I can fight for it to be published legitimately, where I need a royal disposition. I don't know if I have Song of the Sky, a song full of secrets. It's a flickering soul. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. There's not anything about the about my Song of the Sky in here. Alright. The Song of the Sky looms in your mind, a half-finished monument. I can set up an underground printing press for the Song of the Sky. If you can't be published legitimately, you'll distribute the 6th canto illicitly across London. Let them try to stop you. Wow, 3,000 sovereigns. They ain't playing. Well, I don't see myself... I don't know if I have a song full of secrets. Royal dispensation. I'll pay the 3,000. I don't give a shit. That'll give me 26,000, and if I'm gonna spend like 20,000 on my boat, my new train, then I'll still have plenty of money left over. Let them try to stop you. A rebellion in cheap ink. You hire some assistants of dubious character, buy your own printing press, and make a few well-judged bribes. Once the press is up and running in an abandoned warehouse, you start distributing copies of the Sixth Canto for free. The paper is thin as tissue, and the ink smudges at a touch, but it spreads across London like a particularly virulent plague. The controversy only heightens interest. Soon the Sixth Canto is so universally popular, from working men's clubs to factory floors, that the Ministry is forced to admit defeat and lift the ban to avoid further embarrassment. Right, the seventh and final canto? That's it? There's only one more canto? I'm barely even... I'm like a quarter of the way through the game. Okay. This will complete your ambition and end the game. Apparently this is when you need a whole bunch of shit. Dude, but I literally have all this stuff already. I've already beat the game, guys. Because I have a Searing Enigma. I have a Captivating Treasure. I have 2 unlicensed charts. I have 2 moments of inspiration. I have 3 otherworldly artifacts. I have 3 visions of the heavens. And I have 3 savage secrets. I can literally win the game right now. Let's perhaps not this. Would you be able to restore back to here? See, that's my question, Nox. I don't know the answer. And I don't want to take the risk. What if I click on that now, and it's like, yay, the game's over, and it, like, overwrites my save file? Now, if I can somehow back up the save file... I don't want to do this yet. If it's going to end the game... It literally says it will end the game. Okay, I'm a little disappointed that I've already got everything I need to end the game, and I just got to the second area. Like, I thought there was going to be a bunch more cantos and other stuff I was going to have to do. You can get everything you need to win the game just in the Reach. That's crazy. I really want to see what happens, though, rather than waiting another 150 hours before I'm ready to come back and actually end the game. Okay, what if... What if I undocked, I redocked, I now have a save file, right? I don't know where that save file is. I don't even know where this game is installed. Because if I could back up the save file, then I'd be feeling good about life. Steam apps. Sunless Skies is right here. Sunless Skies data, but it's probably not in the actual... Ooh, there's a folder called DLC in here. It's empty, but it's probably under, like, documents or something. Games. Hold on, I'm just looking here. My games. A hell of a lot of games in here listed, but none of these games are. Alright, let's go to users. Let's go to saved games. No, that's for other games. App data. Let's check out app data. Here we go. Here's a lot of stuff. Steam. Local low. Failbetter Games. Sunless Skies. Character repository. Lineage 1. Autosave. Okay, this looks like it. So let's say I copy every file in this folder. And then let's say I'm a little concerned though, because there's also another folder under Lineage 1 called Data, and it's got these files called Areas, Bargains, Domiciles, Events, Exchanges, Personas, Prospects, Qualities, and Settings. I don't know if I need to copy those as well. Alright, I'm gonna make a new folder right here called Backup. Alright, a new folder called Backup. Then I'm going to take these other two folders and copy them and put them both into Backup so that I can restore them if I fuck my everything up here. Sorry to take your time. What's up, Amaranth? Did you enjoy your Division playthrough, and will you be playing Division 2? Yes and yes. I love the Division. Alright. I've backed them up, right? So I should be good to go. You guys ready for this? Let's find out what happens. I will watch it when you're not online. Cool. Alright, write the final canto. The final canto. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hey, now I can say I officially beat the game in only like 50 hours. You go for a walk. You rub your hands and stamp through puddles and breathe deeply of the fume-heavy London air. Even now, you can't help but feel there was so much left out. You'll never cram it all into the 7th canto. Indeed, it would be disastrous to try. You're in mourning for the song itself, and for the impossible, unattainable version of the song that will haunt you until you die, and for the story upon which the song is based, and which too now approaches its end. You will retire. What can you do upon completing your masterpiece except retire? I've lost all that stuff. You return to your office and write. It's as easy as breathing. The Song of the Sky was a tangled beast at times, but you already knew how it would end, and for once it doesn't surprise you. You get there in no time at all. The 7th canto is complete, and you have a final decision to make. Are you going to encourage other would-be explorers to follow in your footsteps? Encourage the reader to follow in your footsteps, or warn the reader to choose another path. I'm going to encourage the reader to follow in my footsteps. Hell yeah. It's a greedy sky, greedy for young blood and young hopes, but it can give so much in return, if you're lucky. A note of encouragement to would-be explorers. There are endless other stories out there waiting for a storyteller. You finish writing the postscript and tear off the final page of the Song of the Sky. Your typewriter immediately falls apart in a clatter of exhausted metal. You rather feel like following suit. You instruct your assistant to begin printing a collected edition of all 7 cantos. The Song of the Sky is complete, and with it, your legacy assured. Publish the 7th canto. The omnivorous publisher is still on the run, but you have a dozen others begging at your door. As the 7th canto begins its first print run, you ignore the invitations to book tours and galas. You collect the 7 cantos together and retreat to your office to read your song. Oh, now it's gonna tell me, based on the choices I made with each canto. The song is a memoir, and more than a memoir. It encompasses so much more than just one life. It holds the sky itself. The 2nd canto is the story of the Winchester War, which tore the skies in half. It's a story of blood and battle and betrayal, of a dark sky lit by explosions, and of how you played a decisive role for the Tacketies in the midst of the carnage. The 4th canto is a roaring yarn of a blood-spattered train, of teeth gouging into iron, of smoke and death and gunpowder. It's a story that leaves the reader exhausted and elated. The 6th canto is a tale of how you discovered the long-lost Parsifal, cementing your place in the pantheon of history's greatest explorers. These grander narratives are knitted together by 1,000 smaller stories, plucked from among the stars and polished to a sheen. The song can only reflect a fraction of the sky, but that's enough. It is vast and bewildering and wonderful book. Publish the collected edition. Unite the 7 cantos in a lavishly illustrated tome. An ending. Ooh, I have an heirloom. The complete Song of the Sky meets with universal acclaim, hailed as the greatest modern iteration of the epic. You will never want for speaking engagements again, and your greatest hardship will be the constant demand for a sequel. For years to come, scholars will pore over the song, teasing apart the intricacies of its prose. They will debate its accuracy, its message, but not its merits. Its merits are without question. Most of all, they will debate its ending, the captain's graceful retirement, described in such simple last lines. Why retire and return home after such a long and illustrious career? Was it a happy ending? Melancholy? Bittersweet? Only the author knows. Your song is sung, your story over, your name written across the skies. This captain's career is complete. You have an heirloom, the Song of the Sky. So this is all the stuff that you donate to your next... You donate your Orphean, Spatchcock, Reclaim... Yeah, it would have been much better to have upgraded the ship before this. To your chosen successor, you hope they can handle it. Your fellow academics will ensure the next captain in your lineage receives the benefit of some of the discoveries you made. So a searing enigma, a couple moments of inspiration, a couple uncharted charts or whatever. Your Bohemian friends are eager to meet your successor. They have gifts. So I guess maybe you start with some Bohemian affiliation. You moved in villainous circles. They remember their debts. Your successor will benefit from their unspoken code of honor, so maybe some villainy affiliation. After subtracting their fee, Hallige's bank arranges for your successor's inheritance, so you get about half the money that I had before. You donate your, now slightly faded, chart. Now the chart is the thing I'm most concerned about. Because starting a new character sounds fun, except for the fact that your whole map gets reset. I wonder what it means by a partial chart. Is that like partial success? Congratulations! Your new chart shows where New Winchester is, and that's all. Enjoy your new chart. With your assistance, your successor will start out stronger and wiser than you did. Perhaps one day they will even surpass you, so you start at level 10. So your new character really gets hooked up from the beginning. And then you could also adjust the... So if I continue... New Winchester and Old Tom's Well. Enjoy. So now it goes right back to creating a new captain. Let's just choose random captain. Let's just see what happens. I want to see about this partial chart. I gained a fuck ton of levels. Ooh, that's new. Family footsteps. Oh no, that was one. That was one before. The smoggy streets, the August avenues. Look how many of these there are. A disgraced predecessor. Oh, this is... So there's special ones you can get just because you had a previous captain. That's cool. And this is another one that you get because you had a previous captain. Your inspiration. Oh, and this is another one you can get because you have the Song of the Sky. You will gain enough experience to grant another level. What? Okay. An hour in Gethsemane. This one must be because of something picked during the character creation. Wait, you start in London? You start the new game in London? What? Alright, let's take a look at my... No, not Blue Kingdom. Not Eleutheria. Tell me about my reach chart. Oh! By partial chart, they mean... the whole damn chart. That's awesome! Except now, it's a new game, so everything is reset. You could do all the quests over again. And I start in London? Okay, so by partial chart, they mean the whole damn chart. I've even got most of the stuff that was on my boat. All of it, actually. I just can't use that thing. And half the money. A captain in your lineage wrote of their exploits in the wilderness. Scholars debated its accuracy, its message, but never its merits.
Oh, now my soul is cold and clear. See, it resets your reputations to default, and you don't have any of these quests. You don't have any officers. You've got to go back around and do a hell of a lot of stuff over again, but this would be a cool way to do a second playthrough, though. Getting to start with a bunch of stuff already done for you so that you don't have to grind away in the beginning. So that's pretty neat. Now the question is, how do I get back to my old game? I can't even load my previous... Motherfucker. Alright, well, I gotta try to replace this now with the backups that I made and hope it works. I probably did a foolish thing. Because what if it doesn't work for some reason? Then I've just wasted the last 50 hours. I mean, I could play this character, but I didn't even pick anything for this character. Might want to end the YouTube session while you do. Yeah. Alright. If you're watching on YouTube, this episode is now over. If you're watching the stream, don't go anywhere because I'm not done streaming. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Sunless Skies.